Today on Project Shop we have these white lights that I had cut the poles off of the other day with the jaw. Now these came in with a bunch of stuff, and I believe I had about $240 I paid for all the aluminum in these lights. I cut up the poles, sent them off. I gained a little over $300. It was like $310 or $320, so we gained like $70 profit. And it took me, I don't know, less than an hour to cut them poles up and load them up. I was heading down to Miami with a load of copper, so it kind of just added to it. Now let's see how much more we get out of this. I got one on the table here. I actually got one more down over there. I'm gonna go grab real quick. We're just shy. A lot of times for round things like that, you can use an easy out on a nut driver and make quick work of it. Fortunately, I don't think I have a big enough one. We're gonna get this open, then what we're probably gonna do is just use the hammer. Nice little chunk of brass. Looks like we got an LED already in here, so that makes me nervous about a lot of bugs. These are actually a nice LED. We'll save that. I have a whole box of those we're going to go through. Looks like we have the same thing here. More brass. Oh. That's why you have to have a good assortment of extensions. Brass. And it looks like this whole top is brass. Okay. Cast aluminum. Then we got some Phillips screws down in there. Oh, this thing is heavy. That's going to be garbage. More cast aluminum. Looks like this thing comes apart relatively easy. So I always like to get one apart, get the process down. Oh, no. They've robbed the transformer. Okay. There is a brass nut down in there. A little bit of number 2. I want to see how much brass that is, see if it's going to be worth it. Probably not. It's actually screwed on there. Okay, because of the ceramic and all that, I'm not going to worry about taking that apart like that. We're just going to send that all as cast aluminum. Get a little cast bucket. Now, This is all waste. It's actually kind of a heavy chunk of waste there. And then we have one capacitor down there. Okay. That's pretty heavy. There are some nuts and bolts back here with a Phillips. I'm thinking just and then I could probably stack these inside each other, or even break these down even more. That way it condenses. These are actually really heavy pieces of cast. Okay, we got 17.4 pounds at 60 cents a pound. Each one of these is going to be worth somewhere around 10 bucks. So we probably got, I'm not sure, but I have to at least take the domes out, the glass out. Sucks, I thought these had transformers in them. Or I mean, if they replaced them with these LEDs, I've probably already scrapped the transformers somewhere at some point. But hopefully we'll gain a couple of these nice corn cobs. Now I've actually been keeping these. I put one of them out back here at the shop, man, and it works amazing. It's been up there for probably 6 months now. So I'm gonna keep them if they're good. I've scrapped so many of them in the past, but if they're good, I'm gonna keep them. I'll use them for myself. Maybe I'll put them online for use. You know, because if I get them like this where they're coming out of a retrofit, you know, as long as I don't damage them like this one probably still works, or might have. As long as they don't get damaged like that, they're a good light. So I'm gonna blow through this real quick. You know, we'll gain an extra 100 bucks or something like that, maybe 150 bucks. I'm gonna put the time lapse on where it'll blow through this stuff and get a nice little pile of cast going. Okay, there actually was a couple little transformers in there. Not much, and I'm pretty sure these are all half aluminum, half copper. But we're gonna knock them out. If it's got copper in there, we process it. Yeah, that definitely was half and half. So I've been having a problem with this foot pedal. I think there's a set screw that locks onto the shaft, and it seems to be loose. That shit is loud. I think I'm going to pull a bunch more transformers out of those lights on the trailer. See that? Gotta go find the hammer. This thing is leaking hydraulic fluid bad. You gotta go to Harbor Freight and buy a new cylinder. Okay, that was quick. Now, we'll weigh all this stuff up. I'm gonna call real quick and get a price on all this material and copper, because we're gonna be stripping some copper later. And I wanna see if how far we're gonna go with this stuff. This stuff will strip. But we wanna see where we're at. And this stuff here, this is all going to go as ballast. We did pull a little bit of wire out of there. Not even really worth anything, but we did get 5 lights that I'm going to test. Hopefully they work. I'll add them to my pile. These two look really nice. This one just covered with bugs. That's the best looking one. But most of these probably worked. The problem is, what happened was I was throwing these lights around and they just broke off basically. So they were probably good, but I'm gonna send that as a ballast because that's basically what it is. We'll trim up that wire, send that with the number 2. A little micro scrapping for you. Got a little electric motor. I got a bunch of mini fans over there somewhere. All right, we'll get some prices. We'll get this weighed up and see if we actually made any money. Okay, I just went and called and got some numbers. Unfortunately, copper's back down to 350, which really sucks. That's 25 cents since last week. So we're at 92 pounds. 85 pounds on the cast. We got 123 on the cast, and that does include the cast from the transformers, and that's minus 36. We got the number 2 insulated. This stuff is actually number 1, but it's not even enough to probably weigh, so 1.98. And we have 2.97 on the ballast, 0.33 on the brass breakage, 1.32 on the brass, 32.17 on the prepared steel, and finally 3.41 pounds on the number 2 copper. Okay, that was a little tedious, and it probably took me an hour and a half to break all that down. So this whole breakdown here was kind of tedious, but I moved right along. Took me about an hour and a half, and then we have, let's just say, another hour of cutting those pipes up. So we're about 2.5 hours. Let's call it 3 hours with the pickup and handling it and whatever. I picked those up while I was picking up some wires, so it was kind of while I was there type of deal. And same thing with selling it. Okay, here's a breakdown on them lights. We had $147.84 of cast aluminum, $1.88 in number 2 insulate, 32 cents in ballast, 36 cents in brass breakage, $2.90 in yellow brass, $2.89 in prepared steel, and $10.92 in number 2 copper, for a total of $167.12, plus the $310 I've already gotten out of that load for $477.12 minus the $240, which brings us back down to $237.12. So we almost doubled our money on that. That's not bad. And it took me 3 hours to do the first and second part of that. So that comes out to about $79 an hour. That's not bad. So, you know, a little more than the micro scrapping. It's definitely not copper wire territory, but I'm okay with $79 an hour. Now, a lot of that stuff that I cut up the other day, I bought and sold. There was really nothing other than I condensed it, which I really didn't need to do. I just kind of wanted to fit in my truck. So I paid a decent aluminum price for that. And then I sold it, you know, just, I probably gained 15 or 20 cents, whatever it was. There really wasn't a lot of profit on that. I probably made more profit on processing these lights down like that and cleaning them up. So even though they retrofitted them and there was hardly any transformers, you can still make some decent money cleaning that stuff up. I buy dirty aluminum, the light fixtures, I always buy them at like 15 cents a pound. So unfortunately, aluminum came down too. It came down to 56 cents. And copper dropped too over the weekend. So we're gonna have to hurry up and process the rest of that stuff and get rid of it before it drops any further. And we make less money. If you've come this far, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We got a nice little nugget of copper. We got 3 buckets of copper. There's transformers in there we got to go through. And we got 2 trailers out there full of scrap. We're going to have a massive scrap out here. I'll tell you where we're going, right to the scrap yard.
Dancing. You ever seen your copper dance before?